Last time on Square Roots, first we avenged our dear murdered friend. Then we robbed a casino. I guess the house doesn't always win. And finally, we stole a magic sword and met a super hot goth chick. Oh, baby, awooga! Eyes fall out of head. Tongue rolls across the room. Heart thumps so hard you can see its outline through my chest. Someone call 911.
I'm in danger.
And that's how Matt died.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Square Roots, the classic RPG podcast. My name is Jim Banks. I'm joined by Matthew Van Zandt.
Hello, Jim. Hello, Johnny. That's right, I introduced him before you.
Johnny Lobster Hands Brandon, though.
Whoa.
Click, clack, I'm eating a snack with my big lobster hands tonight.
Snap, snap, I'm a Johnny. I don't know.
And this is a podcast where we play and talk about your favorite classic RPGs one chunker at a time. And this is chunker 4 of Thief.
I believe this is episode 3.
Episode 3 of Thief.
Snap, snap, watch Johnny Fap severing his penis. All right.
Snap, snap, watch Johnny crap, but only if you subscribe to the Patreon.
No.
Ew.
Well, that
That
not
feels
a
like the
level.
logical extension of feet pics, you know?
No.
Does it?
Oh, no. Feet pics are classy. Scat pics are nasty. I mean, no offense to no kink shaming here, but I'm not going to do scat. You know what?
Meant.
If you subscribe at $10,000 per month, I will do feet pics. There is no amount of money for scat pics.
I mean, you say that, but...
Well, okay, for me, look, we already know you have your discount side feet pics at $1,000.
Yeah. Is there any hot gaming news you guys want to talk about?
Did you talk about what we do on this show, Jim?
I did. I said it.
Like classic RPGs, play chunker time.
It did.
Chunker,
we said what chunker it is.
Oh, okay.
I have some hot gaming news.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, that.
Well, friends, be ready to be sad because this one's a bummer. Warner Brothers Games is shutting down multiverses after less than a year. Wah, wah.
I thought that did okay.
No.
Oh.
I heard it got... I don't know anything more than this, but I heard it got like really greedy and started charging for a lot of stuff.
I mean, it didn't get really greedy. It was really greedy from the jump. It was a platform fighter starring Warner Brothers characters like a Bugs Bunny, Batman, Scooby-Doo, and more. And looks like it was a real piece of crap.
Did y'all play it?
I didn't play it.
I downloaded it and played a round or two once and did not care for it at all.
I thought I remembered people saying they liked it, like when it came out, but then like after 2 weeks I stopped hearing about it.
I feel like there was like a free beta that people were into, and then it like went down and came back as like a live service type game maybe. And I think that's where people didn't like it. But I don't know.
Nintendo lost a court case when they tried to sue a grocery store called Super Mario Grocery Store, but they lost.
Yay!
Whoa.
I
Why?
like Nintendo losing a court case. I assume the guy's name was Mario.
Yeah, they tried to block his trademark, and they lost.
Oh, I guess he didn't
Basically,
use like
the gist of
Nintendo
the
art.
article. No, it was just like there was nothing tying it other than the name Super Mario.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah.
So who wants
Didn't work.
some JCVD news?
I do.
Jean-Claude Van Damme, always.
Yeah. There's going to be the ex Call of Duty devs are making a Jean-Claude Van Damme's Kickboxer game based on the movie Kickboxer.
That's cool.
It's a new studio called Force Multiplier. And it's got people from Call of Duty, Borderlands, Halo, Tomb Raider, and Mortal Kombat.
Cool.
And there's also a 4K Blu-ray release of Time Cop. So get your 4K Blu-ray now of Time Cop.
Hell yeah.
You
Time
can
Cop
watch
rules.
Ron Silver get merged or with himself and then blow up. Is that what happens at the end?
A lot of pretty epic JCVD mullet in that one.
Well, that was his future mullet, right?
That was his depressed, my wife is dead mullet.
Yeah.
Is Time Cop the one where he does the splits in his underwear?
Yes.
Yeah. And he's like on 2 counters. I'm sorry, Jim. Did you say the one? Because he does that in every movie.
In his underwear?
Yes. I don't know about that.
There was an Xbox showcase I did not watch. So these news tidbits are just coming from me, like, hearing podcasts talking about it, but they shadow dropped Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, a new version of Ninja Gaiden 2.
They sure did.
I want to play that because I like those games. They also announced.
I've never actually played one of those.
I don't like those games, so we're really across the spectrum here.
Yeah, and that tracks with like you not really digging Bayonetta because they're birds of a feather, I would say. But play Ninja Gaiden Black 1 first because that's free on Game Pass, and it's like I think it's a 4K version of it, and it's awesome. That is a great game. So try that first, Jim, and see if you like it, and then Ninja Gaiden 2. I think it's way easier than Ninja Gaiden 1, and gorier. Is that right?
I've heard those Ninja Gaiden games are real difficult.
Yes, but I think the second one's easier than the first one. Also, there is a Ninja Gaiden 4 got announced, and there was gameplay footage of the new Perfect Dark, which is by, I think, a lot of the team it was like the Tomb Raider team and stuff. I'm excited for that. I think that could be really cool. I like that first Perfect Dark game a lot.
Me too.
I didn't really play Zero much.
Me either.
I never
But
played
I played
Zero.
I played a lot of Perfect Dark multiplayer with my friends when I was in school.
There's BioWare layoffs because I guess the Veilguard did not perform to their expectations. Like, it sold okay, but not, like, crazy.
Well, that's what happens when you have games on 10-year development cycles.
Yeah.
Like, how can any game be profitable with a 10-year development cycle?
I will buy it, BioWare, I promise. Just I'm waiting. I don't want to buy it before I'm actually going to play it. So I'll buy it when I buy it, but probably this year. I just can't buy every game as soon as it comes out, you know? I feel like this is my personal failing that the game didn't
it's your fault?
Yeah, it's my fault. It's the first BioWare game I didn't buy at launch. And so look what happened.
Oh,
Also,
no.
Forza Horizon 5 coming to PlayStation 5. That was a Xbox
That's cool.
Xbox original. And
I wonder if Gran Turismo will go to Xbox now.
why would no? Sony is not going to do that. It still hasn't even come to PC yet. And which is surprising because I know that they've been talking about a PC version for a while. Forza Horizon 5 is super fun. Like there's you can play that game for hundreds of hours. There's so much content to it. I still like Forza Horizon 4 a little more just because it's got like a big urban area and it's got snow. Like it has seasons. And Forza Horizon 5 has seasons, but it's Mexico, so it's like rainy season and spring and summer and stuff. And like there's not as much environmental stuff. Like there's dust storms and things, but they happen so rarely that it doesn't really make a difference. But the weather in 4 made a big difference. But that's England and Scotland versus Mexico weather. I just think they could have done more with like crazy torrential rains and dust storms and things.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys heard about this, but Dino Crisis released on PC earlier this week with some quality of life improvements.
Yeah, Jim and I
Yeah.
were gonna do a Scare Roots on that a long time ago, but we should do that soon.
We should now that we
I wish
can
you would have
play
said
it.
that yesterday. We could have streamed that instead of that fucking terrible hotel game.
That
Yeah, but I
hotel
wasn't
game last
even
night was
there.
so fun.
I
John,
did
you would've
like
loved
that
hotel
shot
game.
of Jim looking like a streamer, like exaggerated, scared.
That was not exaggerated. That scared the shit out of me.
Oh boy! All right.
Yeah, speaking of Dino Crisis, it's on GOG. You can get the bundle, which is Dino Crises 1 and 2 for $16.99 as of this recording. So,
ooh,
looking
be fun.
pretty cool. Yeah. Actually,
Sounds like a
I
good
might
fun time.
buy these and play them. That sounds super fun, actually. I love the Dino Crisis games.
Dino Crisis. Yeah, they're great. Well, actually, I've never
They
played
have
two.
the art on GOG. I'll put it in the group chat real quick. It looks super cool.
Ooh, let's check it out.
This is just the banner image on GOG, but it looks super duper neat.
Ooh. There's a tongue and a claw. Tooth and
Yeah,
claw.
the raptor claw looks cool.
Yeah, I kind of... It's one of those things where I don't want to be gatekeepy. Obviously, play whatever version you can. But, when you've got the super high-res character models over the low-res backgrounds, I find it doesn't look that good. Like, I think playing it where they're all the same resolution works better. But, play it whatever way you want. I'm not your dad. Unless you want me to be.
There's another piece of hot gaming news. There was a 60 frames per second mod that was released for Bloodborne, and Sony filed a takedown notice. Thanks, Sony.
Wait, but mods are legal. If it doesn't include the original game code, mods are legal.
It said, so the person who made it tweeted, said, on February 1st, 2021, I created and released a patch for Bloodborne, which makes the game run at 60 frames per second. Today I received a DMCA takedown notification on behalf of Sony Interactive Entertainment asking that I remove links to the patch I posted on the internet. So I've now done so.
I think that they are good. You
Maybe
you can
you
make
would have
it
to be playing it on a modded PS4
or 5, yeah.
or 5, yeah.
To get it to go to but at the same time, he's not telling you to do that. I don't know. I feel like there's that Sony overstepping their bounds, but what do I know?
Yeah, they're being a real Nintendo.
Speaking of nothing, and this is not coming from anywhere, our good friend and co-host Vanessa could not be with us today because it is her birthday. So let's give a special birthday shout out to Polly Shore.
Yay! Encino Man. Was he in Encino Man?
He was.
Okay. And son-in-law.
Yeah, and jury duty.
Biodome.
And in the army now.
Apparently he was a MTV VJ first. I
Was he?
Never saw. I didn't have MTV, so yeah.
Didn't his mom own the Comedy Store?
Yeah.
Yeah. What
That's it.
else?
That's
Is that
enough hot
it?
gaming news.
Oh, I was going to say Vanessa's celebrating her birthday this year like she does every year by going to the nearest overpass and throwing off a Mr. Highway.
Allegedly, Jim.
It's just a coincidence it happens every year on her birthday.
What's a Mr. Highway?
Remember
Good
Mr.
Son.
Highway from The Good Son when they throw the dummy off the overpass and it causes that huge 20-car pile up?
All right. Well, we have a couple of streams we want to plug before we dive into our mission objectives for the week.
Remember when I said I was going to release that Larry video? I did it this time on Bears and Games Neo. It came out and it's doing super well. I have gone up over 10% subscribers since the release of that video. So that's very good. Yeah.
Very nice.
Like
Congratulations. It's an excellent video. For me, it was fun to see some of those old Larry games. I have never played much more than a few minutes of each, I imagine, but I was always curious about them, and they seem terrible.
What? I tried to show the good parts, too, right?
Just awful.
What do you think of the Sierra game death montage?
That was fun. I like that. I like the deaths.
Yeah. A lot of cute sprite art death, and one live action and puppet death.
You can check that out over at Johnny's channel, Bears in Games Neo. And if you want to watch some cool live streams, Jim, Johnny, occasionally Vanessa, and I have been streaming on Wednesday nights. We're currently playing Kingdom Hearts 2, and we're still kind of plugging away with random weekend streams. Last night, the night before we recorded this, Jim and I and Vanessa all played well, we didn't all play, but we all streamed, and Jim was playing some horror games. I don't remember the name of either of them.
I played just like 10 minutes of Stasis Bone Totem before we switched, and I played At Dead of Night, which is a British FMV horror game where you're stalked around a haunted hotel talking to ghosts. Well, you're walking around a haunted hotel talking to ghosts while being stalked by the bellboy / manager who has an alter ego of a sociopathic stand-up comedian named Hugo Punch, and he wears a bald cap and chases you around this hotel.
This sounds amazing. Why did Matt hate it?
The worst part about it was that when he did catch you, he would just like knock you out and it would put you back in your room. So the chat decided that really what was happening is that he was a well-meaning hotel manager who was getting complaints about somebody breaking into all the rooms. So he kept knocking you out and putting you back in bed. I'll tell you why I hated it, Johnny. It was boring. It was super boring.
It was fun.
I was enticed onto that stream with promises of Harvester or Phantasmagoria, and then I had the rug yanked out from underneath me and was forced to witness a terrible FMV British goddamn point-and-click horror game, which mostly consisted of Jim trying to talk to ghosts and then asking the wrong questions and then doing it again. And the woman saying the same thing over and over and over and over again. Amy, you mentioned that they took your toy. It was a nightmare.
Jimmy stole from you. Did he take this purse I found in the room?
You said Jimmy stole your toy. We streamed that last Friday, and who knows? Maybe we'll have another stream this weekend. And there will definitely be one next Wednesday and every Wednesday almost until we finish Kingdom Hearts 2, at which point Johnny's going to take over and he's planning on playing Stalker.
No.
Stealther.
No.
Night Trap.
Snatcher.
Yes.
Snatcher.
Yes.
Oh, you could do Night Trap, though.
I think you'd enjoy Snatcher more than Night Trap. And Snatcher's really cool. Okay. It's by genius director Hideo Kojima, who has really single-handedly transformed the medium of video games and also like predicted memes and how internet is going to divide culture into new realities.
Cool.
Anyway, check out the Square Root stream over at youtube.com. And with that, let's dive in to the mission objectives.
So last time we were told by Constantine that we need to recover this amulet for him.
He's going to pay us 100,000 smackers.
Oh, man, that's a lot of smackers.
It's a lot of smackers. I'd steal a gem for 100,000 smackers.
A gem? You'd steal a gem?
Still a gym?
Yeah, I
steal
would
Jim.
find him in his basement, drag him out, put him in my
Just have
trunk.
me, buddy.
So yes, last week we stole a magic sword for a woman named Victoria, and then after the mission we found out that Victoria actually was hiring us
hot.
for Constantine, the man who owned the sword, and it was a test so that if we passed, he was going to pay us 100,000 smackers to steal this cool gem. So off we go to Mission 7, Garrett and the Spooky City.
Come the time of peril, did the ground gape, and did the dead rest unquiet 'gainst us. Our band of iron and hammers of stone prevailed not, and some did doubt the builder's plan, but the seals held strong, and the few did triumph, and the doubters were laying to the foundation of the new sanctum. Collected letters of the Smith in exile.
Cool. Thanks, Smith in Exile. We appreciate that poem. I don't know what the fuck that's supposed to mean.
That was at the beginning of this chunky.
No, I've got that part, Johnny.
Mm-hmm.
I understood that. So we have to infiltrate this abandoned part of the city. It's abandoned and walled off because there was a zombie apocalypse there. And we have to find this closed up Hammerite cathedral where this fucking cool ass gem is.
Well, at least this is going to be
kind
the
of on
only.
the edge of this.
At least this is going to be the only abandoned city that was destroyed in a sudden cataclysm that will play in this chunker, right?
Probably.
That is interesting. That does happen twice, just this chunker.
Man, I got some caramel corn.
Whoa,
my
I
favorite
love
place.
caramel corn.
I do too.
Yum, yum,
This-
yum.
From
Are
kernels.
there caramel pumpkins?
Pumpkins?
Did you guys ever get those like buckets of popcorn that had the cheese and the butter
Yep.
and the caramel popcorn?
No.
The cheese was the best.
Cheese was the best. It was like popcorn with cheese dust on it.
Oh, is it like a... Because, yeah, here it's sort of more freshly made, and there's, like, big buckets, and they scoop it into a bag for you. Like, you know, it's a popcorn store. Don't you guys have popcorn stores in America?
Yeah, they have popcorn stores here. There's one like right up the street from me, I think.
Okay,
Anyway.
so we start off at the edge of this cool, spooky city. And the first thing we realize is, there's fucking zombies everywhere.
No!
I love the zombies in this game. They're so easily avoidable.
Yeah, I did have a little yakety sax line behind me as I was running away from them. It was pretty
Thankfully, this
funny.
thing's so beat up that you're kind of constantly going into buildings and onto second floors and stuff, so the zombies can't really chase you too far before you lose them.
This level, again, feels huge because it's got, like, 3 different paths you can go on. There's the waterways, there's the above ground area, and then there's, like, the dungeons full of fire and lobstermen.
Yeah, I would say that that's kind of what is smart about the level design of this game is that you get these, I think we've talked about this before, but you get these levels that look big and are smartly designed because they have multiple paths. So you can kind of do your own thing and make your own way, and that's pretty neat. But as I have said before, I think once you get to the end of the level, you kind of look around and go like, this wasn't that big. There wasn't that much here.
And they all sort of converge in the same place, like the lobstermen zone. What do you think of these lobstermen? So there's like guys with big lobster claws or crab claws.
Give me a good spooking. Like I came around a corner and I could hear it kind of scraping its little feet as it walked around and and talking to itself.
Snicky, snacky, snack, snip, snap, snip, snip, snap, 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 snip, snip.
That's my Lobsterman character.
Snap, snip,
Sounds
snip,
like a
snap.
goblin.
I'm gonna snap you.
It
I'm gonna give
does.
you a snap. It's bad luck to be you.
I like the Lobstermen's. I don't know. I think that I hit one on the head and it got knocked out, so that was
Yay.
good. There's also good ghosts, and I don't know
What?
how the fuck you kill those things.
Oh
Kill him with a
yeah,
sword.
outside. There's one outside. I tried killing him with a sword, and he just like disappeared. And I was like, "Oh, dead forever." But then he was actually up above the stairs, still shooting fireballs at me.
Yeah, thankfully the projectiles in this game are so low.
Yeah, they're good. They're
What
good.
he shoots are
hexing.
skulls, and if you notice, they're actually like. They're not like magical skulls. They are physical skulls because they will clatter against the ground and then lay there, which is fucking hilarious to me.
So I
This
found
thing's summoning bones.
I found a note, I think in a pub, about, hey, we should go rob from this this rich guy's house because he's out of town and he leaves it abandoned. It's west of the drawbridge. Did you find this note and this house?
No, tell me about it, please. In fact, I really biffed this one and finished the mission, and then it didn't end. And I went to my objectives and realized I had not stolen nearly enough money, and I had to go loot, and I had to go run back through the fucking city because I wasn't worried about it in the city because I was like, well, this cathedral's going to be loaded. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
That's not what happens.
No.
Johnny, tell us about this rich man's house.
Well, he's got, there's some item that in harder difficulties. So there is a rich man's house across the drawbridge. To get the drawbridge to draw or to undraw, I guess, unfurl, you have to use an arrow across the water to hit a button, which is pretty cool. And
That's the way into the cathedral.
I mean, it can be. There's a bunch of different ways. You could also go through like underground and waterways to get to the cathedral.
No, there's a gate at the cathedral that you have to go back and shoot the statue with the flaming arrow.
Oh, no, not that one. This is a button. It's a red
okay.
button. It's not shoot the statue with... And that doesn't get you to the cathedral. That gets you to like that weird library. The Keeper's Grotto.
Oh, yeah, the keep. That's what it was. It opens the Keeper's...
Yeah. So he's got some kind of relic there inside. Let me see what it's called. The Serpentile Torque. Jim, did you do this on the hard objectives?
No, I did not. Did you?
Okay. No, I wasn't sure if you're doing, because you were doing the God mode, that you turned on all the objectives or not. It's, I believe, in this rich guy's house, or someone already robbed it. I didn't find the Serpentile Torque, but that is a bonus objective in the harder difficulties.
Oh.
And it has to do with this rich man's house. Because this rich man's house, a little suspect. There is a knight skeleton there. He's got like old-timey... He looks like a crusader kind of thing. And he's a skeleton, and he's guarding the treasures of the upstairs in this rich man's house. You have to kind of do some...
Treasures of the upstairs.
Yeah, you kind of have to do some Indiana Jonesing to get to the rich man's house, because you have to like go through the upstairs window of the keep next to the drawbridge to go into the streets over there, because it's north of the river. They don't say
I remember
that.
the drawbridge now. I found that on the way back, on my way out, when I was like looking for extra loot.
Right. Yeah. So there is loot there. I thought that was really cool. I liked... So you have this old sketch of the city before the zombie disaster happened. So the streets are all kind of ruined, but you see like street signs and stuff, and there's generators that you can turn on to add light to an area, which I don't know. I guess because you can play this game super dark. I turned up the brightness with this one because I was getting really annoyed at not being able to see anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I kept turning those generators on, and I assumed it had something to do with progressing in the level, but
I don't think
it
so.
didn't seem like it. It just seemed to make life harder.
Yeah, I don't know if it's actually a good idea. I also found out that if you hit those the dino doggies with your sword enough times, they go and then run away.
Yeah, if you hit them one more time, they die.
I try not to kill them. Sometimes you have to. Because they're just little belching dino doggies. They're not bad.
Yeah, until the third mission here, I was leaving them alone. But in the third mission in the Lost City, I was like, fuck you, get out of my way, you're all gonna
In the
die.
third mission, it was them versus the elementals because I left them alive, and that was amazing.
I saw that happen once as well, and it was pretty cool.
Yeah. Because those things do not like the elementals. Yeah, I really like this map design. I think this is like where the game is firing on all cylinders. It's a really cool idea to have like this dead city and it's decayed, but you have a map of pre-decay. And so you have to sort of put that on, like sort of have the idea of, well, this is what it used to look like and try to navigate that way. And that's really cool. This would do well with a remaster because I'd love to see like the spaces filled out, and have like not just be a box, the pub be a pub instead of just a room with maybe a chair and a table.
So eventually we do find our way to this cathedral. And when you get there, there's no way to get through the door. It's like magically sealed.
Yeah,
but
there's like statues that you can put things into their hands. And
you can put stuff in their hands?
Yeah, but I don't think in this level. I think you have to come back and do it later. Because this is like the final goal of the game, right? Is to get inside this cathedral, I think.
Well, I believe pretty much.
It's the main thrust. I imagine there's going to be a little more after we finally. I don't think we're just going to steal the jewel and hand it over to Constantine and be like, the end. I bet there's a little bit of. Let's be honest. I bet there's a little bit of. Now I got to stop him from ending the world type stuff afterwards. That's my guess.
So you find a window at the back of the cathedral, and someone talks to you, and he doesn't seem like a good guy. He seems like a bad guy.
He had Gem.
He had Gem?
Yeah, he had Gem.
Oh, and this gem is what the eye, right? That's what Constantine wants you to find.
Yeah, so you find a little window and you see the gem just kind of hanging in midair, and it whispers to you that you're going to have to break into the Keeper's library in order to determine how to open the seal on the cathedral. So then our mission objectives change. And I had to look up where to go from here, which was a real pain in the ass. It's really not even that far. In fact, I had already fucking been here. I had already come over to this thing.
Yeah, me too.
You find a little grotto off to the side, and there's a little island in the middle of a little artificial pond. There was a treasure chest on there, which is what led me over there. And there's a big key key-shaped platform.
I should have noticed that the platform shaped like a key, because he said to get into the cathedral, to get inside the grotto, or go to the Keeper's grotto and stand on the platform and alight the statue. And then the way forward will be opened. And so there's a bunch of statues around the cathedral. I was trying to alight. I didn't know where the Keeper's grotto was, because that's not on any of the maps. I didn't like this. This is the part of the level I really didn't like, because it suddenly turns into like mist. Like I'm supposed to figure stuff out with my brain. Fuck you.
I am here to blackjack guards and to steal money, sir. Not figure out your goddamn riddle. I did have to look up where to go, but anyway, you can kind of rope arrow yourself onto this platform, and then you shoot a fire arrow into a statue, which lights its torches and opens a secret door. Ooh. And that takes us into the Keeper's library, which is pretty, I think, cut and dry, pretty straightforward, right? Just kind of like 2 rooms, a little bit of gold to steal. And you find a book that tells you that in order to unlock the cathedral, you need to find 4 talismans. And so that ends the mission. Now we have to go find these 4 talismans. Thankfully, Garrett kind of does that for you. Or no, I guess that the book tells you that like one is held by the mages, one is held by the hammers, one is buried in an ancient city, and then one is, I don't know, somewhere else. With your mom, probably. Probably with the Keepers. I don't know.
I don't know either.
But that takes us to Mission 8, Garrett and the Mage Towers. Whoa, that's right. We're going to go get this Earth Talisman from the Mage Towers. Jim, you liked this level. Tell us about it.
Yeah, there's like some towers. They're all like element themed, and you have to like go get there's like moving platforms, and I was just floating around here.
Mm-hmm.
There's like tower or platforms moving up and down one part.
Multiple
I don't know.
parts.
Multiple
So
parts,
it's like a big mage's compound. There are 5 towers, 4 elemental towers in each corner, and a central tower that holds the Earth Talisman. Mm-hmm. And I don't know how you approached this, but the way I approached it was definitely to run into the central tower and knock out every single person inside.
I'm not
I
great
find
at
this game a
stealth,
lot
Matt.
easier to play like that, where I just kind of move from shadow to shadow, knocking guys out, and after each time, I'll stop and look around and make sure nobody raised the alarm, and then do a quick save, and then just move on to the next guy. And I find that to be a pretty quick way to get through it, because once everybody's knocked out, you can just kind of run around and have a good time. You all right over there, Johnny?
Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm good at stealth. So I found because one of the initial things is to go in the library. So it's like, oh, okay, I'll go into the library. And I was talking with Matt before the show. I felt like you could tell this area is it's a DLC added for Thief Gold, because all the textures just are super ugly. And it's just that they didn't make a lot of new art assets for it, so it just kind of looks a little trashy.
So I will say this is the second of 3 DLC levels. Initially, in the original Thief the Dark Project, non kind of remade definitive edition, the 4 talismans were in 2 levels. And instead, with the definitive gold edition, they added 2 extra levels to this section so that each talisman is its own level.
They also color code.
I also want to say that this is the level where I finally realized that the stealth in this game is not really hard. Like, I've spent most of this game crouch walking as quietly as possible, and in this level I realized you don't have to do that. Unless you're walking around on like metal grates or tile floors, they don't hear you. Even if you're just running at full speed, they don't hear you. I really started taking advantage of like the kind of bad AI here. Like there would be 2 guards walking around, and I just walk up to the first one and knock him out, and then walk up to the second one and then knock him out. You can just throw bodies in corners, and the guards will completely ignore them. You don't have to like be real careful. Like, I gotta hide these bodies. They're not gonna notice the fucking bodies.
Even if they do notice the bodies, like they're just like, whoa, looks like we have an intruder, murder, assassin. Anyway, back to my routine. And
this is also where I got this is also the chunker where I got kind of tired of it and started murdering people that caught me instead of running away or reloading my save. I was like, well, time for the old broadsword. Stabby, stabby.
So you've noticed that they wear different colors. Like there's fire mages that wear red robes and air mages that wear like white robes. Like there's some kind of fucking Ninja Turtle. Like, come on, guys. But fire mages, if you shoot a fire mage with a fire arrow, they'll just be like, whatever. I don't care. This doesn't hurt me.
I tried shooting one with a water arrow, hoping that it would like melt him, and it didn't work.
If you shoot them with a gas arrow, which you find in the air towers, they die immediately. And if you shoot a air one with a fire arrow, die immediately. So,
oh, really?
Yeah. Oh. So I guess earth, maybe water. I don't know. I've only seen fire and air mages. I haven't seen earth and water mages.
Well, the gas arrow is like a knockout arrow. That work on anybody.
No, not work on airmen.
Well, sure, that makes sense. So it's like the air mages, I guess that makes sense. But any other person in the game, if you hit them with a gas arrow, it knocks them out.
It also has a small area of effect. I'm going to need a million. So if there's a cluster of guards and you hit them with one gas arrow, as long as they're not air mages, they will fall down, which is pretty funny.
Ooh,
that you can get multiple guards. So I was let me do my little critique of this level. I find because it's mostly reusing old assets, the art just isn't very good. So that's my main problem with it. That it looks like a Doom level that a good level designer made, but they didn't make any new textures, so it's all just kind of ugly, like just textures from other parts of the game. And especially the towers are just, except for the fire tower, which looked really cool. The other towers are just ugly. The water tower, though, I liked that its puzzle was water, and the solution to its puzzle was swimming. That I'm fine with.
That's it.
Yeah.
So to clarify, so you sneak into the library in the main tower, and you can find a note that tells you that each tower's key is hidden in a different tower. And then the final tower has the key to the treasure room where the Earth Talisman is, the central tower.
Matt,
so you have to...
I went to the library last. I totally forgot about the library. And then after I got the Earth Talisman, I'm like, I had a Matt situation where it's like, oh. So I just figured this out.
So did you just kind of guess?
Yeah, I just kind of
You just went to the water tower first?
Well, I found the water tower key first, and I was like, okay, I'll go there. And then I found the air tower key.
Well, the water tower's unlocked. You don't need a key for the water tower.
Oh, is that what happened? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that's what happened. So then I got the Earth key, and I was like, oh, that's where the Earth Talisman is? No.
Mm-hmm. Nope. No. Yeah, in the library, you'll find something that'll tell you that each tower holds the key to another tower. So, and the water tower's unlocked. So you swim up to the water tower. It is just flooded, and you literally just have to swim up to the top of the tower and grab the Earth key, which takes you to the Earth Tower. This one has... this one's a little longer, actually. I got through the water tower and was like, oh, sweet, these are short. And then the Earth Tower was kind of long. Mm-hmm. It's kind of big. There's a lot of cards I had to knock
why
out.
we need to go to the library?
To find
out
where the
it says you need to find out where the Earth thing is, but it says and he doesn't know, but he's like, well, mages are famous for writing everything down. So if we go to a library, I guess maybe we'll find some info.
Oh, I probably should. Well, I tried going to the library, but there's lots of guards, and I'm not good at stealth, so I was like, I'll do this.
See, I
later.
went through and I said this while you were gone, but I went through the central tower first and just cleared that thing out entirely of guards and servants. And then from there, it was actually pretty easy because there's not a lot of guards in between. Like in between each tower is a fun little hedge maze. And by fun, I mean lots of shadows and easy approaches to knocking people out. So every time I went into one of these little hedge mazes, it was just like a goddamn
the hedge
hunt
maze
for
was
me.
great.
Just sprinting through the fucking hedges, knocking dudes upside the head.
That Harry Potter dining hall I found really hard because I just had there's a million guards outside. And if one raises the alarm, you just get thrown around. So I eventually, so you get into this big dining hall with lots of dining tables. It's like the biggest room in the central tower on the second floor. And to the left is the entrance to the library, and to the right is some other. So what I did in the end to get there was I went down through the central tower and sort of went through the back way to get in there, and that was a lot easier because then I could turn off torches on the way, and I didn't. It was that. And when I got to the library, I just yakety saxed the library. I ran around, and that's it.
I did not have a problem with the dining room. In fact, they all kind of came through one at a time in a really convenient way where I would knock one out, throw him in the corner, knock one out, throw him in the corner, knock one out, throw him in I had a stack of 5 bodies in there by the end. It was pretty good.
In the dormitories, that's what I did. I just made a room for the bodies.
So we go up each of these towers. The Earth Tower has some floating rock platforms. It turns into a fucking first-person platformer. Don't do this, games.
It sucks a butt.
Wait, I thought that was wasn't the air... the air tower is the one with the floating
I thought that was the air
They
tower.
both have this, actually. But at least in the Earth Tower, after falling off the platforms a few times, I was like, wait a minute. And I just shot a rope arrow out by the door and climbed up that way.
Yeah, the Earth Tower has that central room with all the floating rocks.
Floating
That's right.
platforms.
Yeah.
And they'll hit each other. You can get squished by them.
You
Yeah,
can
you
get
sure
squished
can.
by them, yeah.
And their programming's really bad, so you like even sometimes you're just standing near one, you just die.
Yeah.
But I did finally realize that you don't have to do those platforms. You can just use a rope arrow.
Oh, but I used so many of the. I think I used up all my rope arrows, and I was down. Okay, oh Matt, I didn't realize until this level, because I think you do at the top of the Earth Tower. I think that's the one where you have to use arrows to get around to get to the air key, to rope arrows, because like there's a bunch of beams that you can attach to, and that's how you get to the air key. But what I did dumb was I finally used a health potion. You know how I thought that it just healed 1 point?
No, it's slow. Yeah.
It's a heal over time. It's a hot.
Yeah, but it still only fills up like half your health at most, which is
Yeah, but at least it's better than that. But anyway, I was down to like from half this level down to 2 hit points, no rope arrows, no water arrows. I was out of everything, and so that's why I was.
There are a lot of water arrows in the water tower.
Yeah. I just had a hard time with this one.
So from the Earth Tower, you get the Air Tower key. The Air Tower is an annoying. It's not that bad because there's really only like a couple of guards. But it is a bunch of floating platforms, which, yes, Johnny.
Would you say Earth Towers are easy?
Yeah, I would say Earth Towers are easy. No, the Earth Tower kind of sucked. The Air Tower was way easier. Air Towers are easy. Water Towers are easiest. I don't have much to say about the Air Tower. Like, it was pretty quick. Other than when you find the key is in a treasure chest floating above a pedestal, and you have to go flip a couple of... You have to go point a couple of telescopes down.
Yeah, I guess they were like shooting
to
air
come down.
at it. Like when you do that,
and then
skydiving
you have to run
thing.
over and try to pick the lock real fast, and you don't have enough time. So I had to do this 3 times, and I was annoyed. Thankfully, it doesn't like reset the progress on the lock, so you just kind of like run over, jump on it, and get as much done as you can. Finally, from the Air Tower, we get the key to the Fire Tower. And fuck the Fire Tower. I hate the Fire Tower. The Fire Tower sucks.
It does have...
It's all grates.
Yeah, it's all grates and heat plates and annoying guards who like neg you as you're trying to go through the level.
Like a weird puzzle at the end of it.
Oh, you think that hiding in the shadows will save you? Nothing will save you.
It's all great, so you can't take a fucking step without somebody hearing you.
Yeah, it's loud.
I did
There
have
are
a lot
these
of
hot
moss
plates
arrows,
that'll
at least.
get hot and then cool off, and if you step on them, they, hurt really fucking bad. And when you finally get to the top, which I did just finally have to murder a fire mage, and then the second fire mage in the room, because there were 2, because it was a big room, knew I was there, and I was just like, fuck it, just run. I just ran away from it.
I had to
You finally
murder
get up to
them
the
both.
top.
I just stabbed the second one. I was like, I'm tired of you. I'm tired of you. You get the sword.
Yeah. This is the chunker where I got murdering. I fucking had it. At the top, there's a bunch of pools of lava in the fire tower as well, which is obnoxious because that will kill the shit out of you. And there's the treasure chest, and it's surrounded by heat plates that turn on and off, and you have to keep like pick for a minute and then back up, and then pick for a minute and then back up, and this really fucking annoyed me.
As a Canadian, I'd prefer if you said lava.
Lava. I think I say lava when I am referencing the soap, like lava soap.
Interesting.
You know the bars of soap. You know what I'm talking about, Matt?
Yeah.
I mean, I do, but why?
I don't know. I just always have. Just always have. I don't
Like
know.
lavender?
Lava soap.
And the
Is it
fire
Canadian?
tower gives us the treasure key. Also, at the top of each of these towers is a door connecting to the central tower. So I guess at least I didn't have to run down and around and back up the central tower. I was able to just go through. So that was nice.
There's 2 guards in each spindle of that central tower to side tower thing. But there's like lots of shadows in their spindle corridor. So it was fun taking them out in those things.
They would always walk together. And I really love that you can walk up and like knock one out. And he's like, "Ugh!" And the other one just never hears him and it just keeps walking. Like, everything's fine. This is okay.
This is great.
So after the fire tower, we head up to the top of the central tower and open the treasure room. And inside is a key. Johnny, it said you wrote that there's an annoying puzzle that doesn't work correctly. What does that mean?
Well, because there's a parchment you get that says, and some different books in the library later, that's like 8 men stand before you. Turn away from the hand with the one with the sword and walk.
Count to 7.
Count 7. And well, first of all, the hand with the sword is meaning your hand, like the
one that holds the sword, your right hand.
Yeah, you're right. So you turn left, walk counterclockwise around the circular room after you knock out or stab some mages, and then
I had a great thing here where they're having a conversation when you come in, and I walked in and listened to their conversation, and then I was kind of tired of waiting, and I was like, I'm not in a good spot, so I dashed through some light and to a shadow, and then I sat, and they finished their conversation, and then as soon as they finished their conversation, they were like, somebody's here, and they both ran out the door and never came back. Anyway, Johnny, yes, you can count 7 and it does not seem to be right. What I did is quick saved the game and tried each one, reloading after failing each time until one of them didn't punch me, I guess.
They do punch you if you pick up the wrong one, like the item model like zooms in towards you really fast. Yeah.
It like goes bleep bleep. It's really stupid looking.
It's really fucking annoying. But you get this, and then you do have to make your way out. Even if you're playing on regular difficulty here, you have to run down, which for me was a fucking breeze because this place was dead empty. I love the idea that Garrett's this master thief, and after he pulls a crime, the only way you know he was even there is that your things are gone, and also every single person under your employ is sleeping in a corner. You know, it makes more sense in Dishonored when it's like, yep, an assassin came through here and fucking killed everybody. And this one's like, yeah, I guess a thief came through and just knocked every single guard out.
At least you didn't have to knock that captain out. He was just sleeping. He was a sleepy boy.
Yeah.
You can knock them out if they're asleep or kill them, but I don't bother with that.
No, I just took his stuff. It was fun. Anyway, so now... I got the treasure and I was like, mission over. Just waiting for it to load up.
Nope.
It doesn't feel like it's too early for a beer, right? I don't think it does.
Saturday, I guess.
So I still had to go to the library, so I just ran around the library till he talked about how great a library was. And meanwhile, all the mages were like, you think you could come here? You best leave us alone. Hiding in the shadows won't help you. I'm a special boy. Look at my red robes. And then I looked for a way out. I went to the front gate. That is not a way out. And then I was like, oh, I bet there was that central staircase. I bet if I go all the way down to the bittiest bottom that I will be able to escape that way. And I was right, though there was a key I had to get from one of the guards who initially ran away from me. So this time I reloaded my save and made sure to get his key and then knock him on the head and give him a concussion, which does, don't get concussions. They're really bad for you.
Good job, Johnny.
This guy sucked. There's also a lot of treasure in the basement and one more guard just hanging out by the river. I killed that one because, I was just annoyed at this point. And
the captain guy had a lot of loot.
Yeah, that was fun. and he was
He
sleeping.
had like that brooch or necklace or jewel or whatever that was on his desk that was worth a lot of money.
Yeah, Garrett's like, oh, it looks like he was skimming from the top because he took
he's
some
been
for,
holding out or
took
whatever.
some for daddy. You know what I mean?
I actually kind of randomly stumbled upon the exit to this level, the dungeons.
I just
kind of saw that I could keep going down, and I was like, oh, what's down here? Maybe I'll get a little more loot. And I stole some treasure, and I jumped in some water, and I got to a gate, and Garrett was like, oh, the way out. This will be helpful. And then the mission ended.
Yeah, later. And by later, I mean right now.
Right now. All right.
So-
Finally, it's time for Garrett and the Lost City. I like how these have Indiana Jones names.
Well, I gave them all Indiana Jones. They don't actually have.
Yeah, I think
Jones
this one
names.
is just called the Lost City.
Yeah. I decided to write Indiana Jones names for all of them because I thought it'd be fun. Or Harry Potter style names. Matt looks disappointed in me. I'm sorry, birthday boy. Oh, did we say it was Matt's birthday? Jim, you and I.
Oh,
need to wish
Matt's
Matt,
birthday was last week. Happy birthday, Matt.
Happy
Thanks,
Matt
guys. You know,
Day.
my kids always sing me happy birthday, and this year they didn't, and I'm pretty
All
depressed
right,
about
Jim.
it.
1,
That's
2,
right.
3.
2,
Happy birthday,
birthday
to Matt.
to you.
Happy birthday,
Happy birthday
to Matt.
to you.
Happy birthday,
Happy birthday,
dear
dear Matt.
Happy birthday,
Happy birthday
to Matt.
to you.
Thank you, sons. Thank you. You're the best children a man could ask for.
Did it sound in sync on your side,
I love
or was
you
it a
both.
chaotic mess?
No, it sounded pretty good.
Okay.
Garrett and the Lost City. So Garrett has discovered that the second talisman, what's this one? The fire talisman, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is hidden in I don't know what else to say. It's a lost city. It's hidden. It's in the lost city that's lost. It's hidden there.
I found lots of scrolls.
I don't know where
It's-
this was or what it was. I was confused.
This is like an elder. So this was a city that did worship some.
So did
like,
he leave town? Why didn't we get the plane going over the map animation, you know?
Yeah, we should have. But no, we went down. This is in the city that Garrett lives in. It's just under it. They built the new city over the ruins of the old city.
I do love that, as you said earlier, like how many abandoned cities are there around this city? Like,
But
what's
this city-
going on?
Like, because Garrett's city is all steampunky, like 19th century, or maybe like 17th century. But this city is like Egyptian. I really like
Yeah.
this. This was great level design. It was really spooky and fun. I liked the puzzles here because they made sense and they didn't hurt my brain. They were good, smooth brain puzzles for my smooth brain.
Who built this city?
Rock and roll.
Well, you jumped the gun on my joke. You were going to say something, and then I was going to say, you know, what did
Rock
they
and
build
roll.
it with? Rock and roll. They built it with rock and roll, and I guess like sandstone, because that seems to be what it's made of.
Yeah, a lot of limestone, like the pyramids, sandstone, the usual.
Yeah,
They s- like you'll.
there's a
fi-
great
there's
way.
so-
You have to get into the city first, which is fun. You don't just start there.
Look out, there's spiders.
Yeah, look out, there's spiders. Did he mention how you're supposed to get in the city? I was just kind of wandering around and saw a weird
Didn't you
thing
watch
underwater and was
the-
like, what's that for?
Didn't you watch the 9 Inch Nails video that told you how to get in the city?
No, what were the directions?
That you need to use the Earth Talisman on this weird plaque that was located at the bottom of the river. Although it wasn't on the bottom, it was on the side. So he was wrong.
I don't remember that 9 Inch Nails song.
You know, it was like, you gotta find the Earth Talisman to unlock the lost city. They're coming to Vancouver, and I'm thinking of maybe, I don't know. I've never been to an arena rock show before. I like smaller shows.
I gotta say,
like
every
Nine
rock show
Nails.
I've been to with the 90s, that's been like an 80s or 90s band in the last couple of years, has been a pretty big bummer.
Wait, who is it?
They
Nine
old.
Inch Nails.
They all old.
Oh, I bet that would be great though. Like, I bet a Nine Inch Nails show would be awesome. If it's a good band, like one that really brings it, I think arena rock shows are totally fine though. Like John, I still do prefer a smaller show.
Yeah. Help me, there's little spiders here now. What do you think of the little spiders? You can kill them with an arrow. It was nice to one-hit kill things with a regular arrow. I was like, this game needs more one-hit arrow kills. I don't like that there's not a lot of them. So you have to go through this waterway, and then it like spits you out into this
I love
cavern.
this because there's a lot of like, it's long, but there are little air pockets you have to find.
Yeah.
I just used the breath. I bought a couple of breath potions. I figured that they were introduced for a reason. So I just used one.
I mean, I thought about it, but then I was like, but what if I want a lot of water arrows and rope arrows?
Ooh, and having a lot of water arrows, a good idea for this one. Though you can
And a
find
couple
a
of
ton.
gas arrows.
Yeah.
Just in case. Actually, I don't think I used the gas arrows.
I did on the fire mage who was guarding the lever, the place you have to put the lever into. And there's an air and a fire mage there. So I fired the air mage and aired the fire mage.
Smart.
Wow. Zoom is like, set up professional audio in audio settings. Zoom thought I was professional singing Nine Inch Nails.
So this is pretty straightforward, actually, because, I mean, it's not. I got lost. I got a little lost a few times.
I found the lever
there are
slot
some, like-
first.
There are like, I did too. I found the lever slot first. It's broken into areas like you go through the waterways and then you kind of go through some caves and then you find this like interesting area that looks like Egyptian tombs almost. And there's lots of loot around, which is awesome. And Bureks, which is not awesome. And I did go on a Burek slaughtering spree here.
I let the elementals do that. What I decided to do here was, well, because I found a note talking about how the key to the part of the city that they locked up, this was like during the cataclysm, or no, it was even before that, was like, well, we need to bury it with this guy, and that way it'll only maybe be stolen by grave robbers or something. So I knew that I had to do some tomb raiding. And to get to the tomb raiding area, like you can go through this big mausoleum, but that's not the tomb that you need to go to. There's a path behind that if you do some climbing to get to the lever. The lever area is infested with mages. Like they have figured out that, I guess they too have seen that there's a key here, but they are dum-dums and they're looking for a key. They don't realize the key is a lever, which I like. I thought that was fun. Mm-hmm. So they ignored the lever.
You go through this area where like lights automatically turn on, which was
I like
okay
that.
because there's not much to hide from other than dinosaurs, and you can just stab those. But yeah, eventually you have to run through an arena, which is surrounded by like houses. There's lots of little bits of loot around here, and some fire elementals, which are just floating balls of fire that shoot goddamn fireballs at you. What is that? Do you guys think it's ejaculating at us?
Yeah.
Like
It's trying to impregnate us with fire,
It's trying
which
to
works.
impregnate us with its fire.
Because if
fire semen?
it squirts its fire at us, we turn into fire. So, you know,
That's true. That's a good point. And maybe from our smoldering corpses, a baby fire elemental is born. You don't know how it works.
Oh, it puts a little fire baby in our tummies.
Yeah, it puts a little fire baby in your chest, like an alien chest burster, except for it's a fireball.
I've tried to look up for years. There was this TV movie that came on during like CBS. Oh, it was
Fireball
a CBS,
insemination.
It was a CBS story break movie when I was. This was like I was really little, so it was probably like early 80s. And all I remember was it had this red floating ball special effect that made like a creepy noise when it was floating around. That scared the shit out of me.
Oh, you're
And
thinking
these-
of Phantasm.
No, it wasn't. As much as my parents probably would have loved to show me Phantasm as a small child, given my parents' weird predilection for letting me watch Revenge of the Nerds and Aliens and all that.
Revenge of the Nerds is just a fun comedy. Of course they would let a child watch that.
Hair pie.
Nothing wrong with that movie.
Hair pie.
Oh, that's so... I hate that term.
Yeah. That makes me cringe so fucking hard.
And can you believe the balls on that woman to be unattractive? The large lady? Like, how dare a lady be unattractive?
I mean, it seems from the clip that you shared with us that you forced us to watch. I don't even know why we're talking. This has nothing to do with our show, and our listeners have no idea what's happening right now. But I guess I'll clarify and say Johnny made us watch some Revenge of the Nerds this week, like an asshole.
Mm-hmm. It was in my Bears and Games video.
And is that where it's from? Anyway, Johnny made us watch some Revenge of the Nerds, and what he says is, "Get out of the way, mama!" And so, is that the girl's mother?
No.
And then the other one is screaming hair pie?
That's not the girl.
I want to die just saying that
They're
term.
at the girls' dorm, and they're being protected by a large woman who's like their bodyguard, but also is just a young woman who lives there and is trying to go to fucking school and learn and not be harassed by people saying hair pie with a fucking camera.
Ew.
Whoa, there was a Hank the Cowdog CBS story time? What if I want to watch this show?
Oh, I don't know.
Don't Hank the Cowdog.
Just don't watch the one with the ghost because it'll scare you like it did when I was 3.
You could probably just go to the Wikipedia and
no, I'm not.
Look at the episode titles.
I don't want to do that. That thing will scare me too much. Anyway,
Mama Don't Allow, was it that one?
I don't think so. It was something
The
about
Monsters
a ghost.
Ring?
Maybe it wasn't CBS.
Jeffrey's Ghost?
Maybe. At any rate, the Lost City has these floating fireballs that are destroying a lot of the mages. Although, wouldn't it not destroy the fire mages since they're resistant? I don't understand. Why did it kill so many
That doesn't
mages?
make sense. I did have some dinos chase after me at one point, and then a couple of fire elementals came around the corner and just fucking destroyed them. And I was like, yes. And I just hid in the corner. They clearly knew I was around because they didn't leave, but I did have to finally water arrow them. But
yeah,
it was pretty funny.
That dog is trying to get Jim's attention.
Biting.
Mm-hmm.
He's licking himself right now, actually.
Oh, okay.
Great. So eventually we make our way down past these mages. There's a switch, I guess, and then you find, what do you find? You find the lever on a dead man?
The lever was just in the tombs. Like, maybe it was on a dead. It could have been on a body. Yeah, it was in one. Like,
what
in
did the
that
lever
tomb
do?
area. The lever.
Explain to me what the lever does.
So you have to take that from the mausoleum area and then bring it to the other area that's full of mages, and you put it into a slot. Turns on a machine. It extends a drawbridge so you can get to the final part of the level, so that you can get the fire talisman.
Yeah, I also found the slot for the lever first. You do find
the lava lever.
You do find the lava lever on a. I think I found it on a body.
Oh, okay. I can't exactly remember. I was playing it last night. I was not intoxicated, but I was sleepy.
I actually found that you did not need to extend that drawbridge. You can just jump that gap.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Now ask me, can you jump it on the way back?
Can you jump it on the way back?
So I didn't finish the chunker this week.
Oh, no. Bad. Oh, no.
I'm going to have to use Jim's cheats and give myself, like, fly to get back across.
Wait, actually, do you know what a really simple way to end the current mission is? If you press Control Alt Shift and then end, it automatically blasts that mission accomplished screen and the mission's over.
What are you talking about?
If you hit Control Alt Shift and then end, it completes the mission for you. It just moves you to the next level.
If you have the cheats on?
No, if you, that's just a shortcut key or shortcut
cheat code
key combination. Yeah, in the game.
I want to fucking try that right now.
Control Alt Shift End. It works.
That's how Jim got through this little.
I don't have an end key on my laptop.
Oh, it's right up under home on mine.
You can just, I think you can bind the end key to another button.
Or sometimes it's like you have to hold function and it's like in blue text on the laptop's keyboard. You'll see end. I don't know your keyboard. I don't have like my Mac one. My Mac keyboard does not have one because it's such a compressed laptop keyboard.
Yeah, it doesn't have a home or an end key. I guess I can just plug in my work keyboard.
Well, do you have some saves before you cross that thing?
Not nearly close enough to want to fuck around with it.
Because
I had really started relying on the autosave.
I do that quick save. Basically, I when I get to like a next area, I'll do a hard save and then I'll do the quick save in between.
I was doing that, but today I was just blowing through it.
Aww.
So I did instead of extending the drawbridge, just jump across the gap.
Mm-hmm.
And
you could probably
from
plug
there,
in
you
a
kind of
keyboard to your laptop and do it that way, Matt.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Oh.
All right. So anyway, you pull the lever, the drawbridge opens for some of us, and then you head down into deeper into this lost city. Eventually, you stumble upon a tower, and this is kind of neat. You have to go into the tower, and after the second floor, the stairs are out, so you have to go out a window and like scoot around the edge of the tower and use a rope arrow, which you can't find a rope arrow in there. I've noticed that when you have to have one, they give you one.
Yeah, like that one area with where you needed rope arrows in the last mission, there were a bunch of rope arrows around there to get the air key. But I
don't remember needing the air key to rope arrows to get the air key.
The first real boss of this game is climbing up this rope. This one rope
yeah.
is the first real boss of the game.
Yeah. Because it keeps bouncing you off the wall. You kind of have to hit it from the side.
I died.
I fell a few times myself.
So many times.
Straight into a pit of lava. So anyway, you climb up your rope and you jump through the top window, and there's your fire talisman. Yay! Then, of course, you have to find your way back out, and that is why I did not complete the mission, because I ran outside, killed some fire elementals, ran back to the little platform, and realized that it had a big fat lip, and that there was no fucking way I could jump across from this side. And I was like, well, the end for Matthew. I guess I'm done playing this game. That's it. That's all I have to say about this area. Do you guys have anything to add about the Lost City?
I think the tower looked super cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's like this big, almost like brutalist looking tower in a big cave.
The fire elementals popping out of the walls over there. That was annoying.
I like this.
Does anybody know why there's two tunnels in that room? There is a tunnel you can see from the window when you grab the fire talisman, level with the window, but way too far away to reach. And with no ability to like use a rope arrow to get across because it's just rock, so you can't shoot anything with the rope arrow.
Maybe it's for
so I don't know what that's
like
for.
Floating like the Emperor shooting lightning out of his fingers.
And then if you go down to the ground floor in the same place, but on ground floor is a tunnel that you can't reach, you can't jump to, you can't get to in any way, shape, or form. I don't understand. I don't understand it. Why are those tunnels there? And what are you supposed to do about them? I tried shooting water arrows at the lava like I was playing a Zelda game to make little rock ledges, and that didn't work. I like this level as well. It was kind of Tomb Raider-y. It was fun. There weren't a lot of guards.
Garrett does say, he does use the words raid some tombs in this.
Does he?
He does. If you there's some like sarcophagi you can find, and if you like, you can trigger some dialogue where he's like, "I guess I need to raid some tombs."
Did you like when he's like, I guess the city isn't lost anymore, is it? Or something stupid like that.
He does. You can find a creepy statue that makes him say the word creepy, and it's like a statue of like Cthulhu. There is another reference to Nyarlathotep here. There's like a temple of Nyarlathotep or something like that you can find in the level, or find reference to in the level. Yeah.
Well, remember that Constantine had statues of creepy Cthulhu-y guys too.
He did.
So I feel like this is all related.
Like maybe Cthulhu is the final boss of the game.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. That makes sense.
That'd be pretty cool.
I still can't believe you guys never fought the final boss of KOTOR 2, which is 3 lightsabers floating at you. The worst boss of any game we've ever played.
So this was, let's see, this was 9. We've got 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. All right, well, I guess at this point we should break them into chunks of 3. So that's it for this week. Next week we will play missions 10 through 12. That's the Song of the Caverns, Undercover, and then the Return to the Cathedral.
Ooh.
And then the week after that, we'll wrap it up. There is a blooper reels thing that we should all watch once you finish the game. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, it's like I was reading people, I saw a post talking about it on a forum today, and they were talking about like there's a blooper level you can get to.
So this next level, Song of the Caverns, is the last DLC mission of the game. So I expect that one to suck.
It's pretty big.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, so next week we'll play 10 through 12, and it's time for us to talk about what we are squarely against. Johnny.
Oh wait, hold on, really quick. Is next week gonna be the penultimate episode? How many episodes do you think we have left in this?
2.
All right, we need to make sure we have Vanessa ready to announce the next game next week.
It's true.
It's Vanessa's game.
Mm-hmm.
All right, sorry, Johnny. What are you squarely against?
I am squarely against that Mage Tower level. It felt like a map pack, which I don't think is bad. Like, I think it's like good thief content for expert level players. I am not an expert level player. It also seemed a little rushed, like the floating rocks that can kill you even if you're nowhere near them.
Yeah.
And the puzzle that was incorrectly programmed. And it's just, don't add that to your main game. Put that as like a special extra thing that, like if you're going to re-release your game, re-release it as it was with the extra stuff, like on the side. I don't know. I think incorporating the DLC levels into it is a mistake. That's what I'm squarely against. What about you?
Yeah,
Matt?
I mean, I think it's interesting that they at least like these are additions into the game and not like just like extra crap for you to play. Like, it makes sense to take these 2 levels that have 2 talismans apiece and break them out into 4 levels, right? But unfortunately, they have not been great. This and the casino one. Anyway, I'm rallying for that Lost City. That was a fun change of pace. I was able to kind of run. I love these old first-person 90s games where it's faster to jump everywhere. So when there's nothing around to worry about, I'm just gliding through the air. Hop, hop, hop. It's a lot of fun. What about you, Jim?
I am roundly for Johnny Lobster Hands. Eddie Lobster Hands. When I was like free floating through the level, like just taking everything in, I remember I rounded a corner. It's easier in this game to just turn fly mode on and turn collisions off, but you can't like just go through every texture. Like if it's stone, you can't go through it.
Oh, okay.
Like it will like you'll get stuck in it. So I usually find myself just going like up the stairs and through the doors and all that stuff. But I rounded a corner in a cavern and there was like a big lobster guy. He looks like the villain in that Zack Snyder Justice League movie with big lobster hands. That's what he looks like. He looks like, is it Steppenwolf? Is that the name of that character in those movies, Matt?
Yeah.
He looks like Steppenwolf with big giant lobster hands. He looks pretty cool.
Yeah, they're fun.
Yeah, that's it.
The next level has like in the opening cuts or the cutscene for the next level shows more lobster hand men, so I'm expecting them to be in that.
All right, well, now it's time for our final segment, Level Up. Johnny, how did you level up this week?
I leveled up by releasing a video, which took quite a bit of work, more than I thought. I thought it was going to be a 10-minute thing, but the thing is, like, if I'm really interested in something, I'll start writing about it and then keep writing. There's a lot I want to include, so I don't think it's a bad thing that I made a long video. It's not that long. I also started watching Action Button do his video on Final Fantasy VII Remake. That's been interesting. Yeah, check out his stuff. If you like my videos, probably you'll like his videos. And I have been playing more BioShock. I'm about halfway through BioShock 1 on the Nintendo Switch. It's a good port. I recommend that port of the game. And I also played some other games. What did I play this week? Oh, I started playing Batman Arkham Origins and I saw Jim, like, it's like, oh, recently your friend has got all these achievements, Steam achievements for Batman Arkham Origins. So I guess Jim and I both were in a Christmas Batman game. I also started Batman Arkham Knight on Switch just to see how it runs. That game
But it's not good.
Well, the thing is, like, during normal gameplay, it's one of the best looking games on Switch. It takes a little while to load in textures, which is the only problem. But, like, it looks amazing. The characters look fantastic. Really good looking game. But then when it gets inside the Batmobile, it's like 15 frames per second and smeary nonsense mess. Like, it doesn't work. They should have done Arkham Origins instead of this one, because Arkham Origins, like Batman, the first two Batman games run fine. Just do the other one that would run fine, and not the game that runs bad. But they didn't, because Rocksteady did not make Arkham Origins. That was Eidos Montreal, so it was a different group of people. Is that the Deus Ex team? I think it is. Yeah, it's the Deus Ex team.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, and the Guardians of the Galaxy game, etc. So otherwise, I also I went to a used game store and bought some used games. There was a Digital Foundry thing on this game that was called like Reckless, like with a W. The Yakuza Files, which was a game I've seen before. I thought it was just shovelware for the original Xbox. But I got it for $5, and it's a really fantastic driving game. It's by the people that did a weird game called Felony 1179 on PlayStation. It's by the Shining Force team, which is really weird.
Ooh, that's weird.
But it's it's a cool, really cool driving game that looks fantastic on Xbox. Like, the reason Digital Foundry was taking a look at it was just because it was so ahead of its time graphically, and its sequel, which never came out here. Definitely worth $5. I also picked up, because a video I want to do is talking about Need for Speed Most Wanted on Vita versus the other version. Just talking about how Vita couldn't really handle full-size games and why that was, and like comparing between those two. Need for Speed Most Wanted, one has one of the best video game soundtrack, like licensed soundtracks I've ever heard. Like, every song on it's amazing. It starts off with that Muse song, but was it Hurricanes and Butterflies, or Butterflies and Hurricanes?
Muse is terrible.
Butterflies
Not off
and
to a strong
Hurricanes,
start here.
Yeah. I like Muse.
It's got a really good Chemical Brothers
They got
song.
some good music.
Yeah, I like Muse too. I'm sorry you don't like them. They have a couple of
That you
bad
like
songs.
bad music.
Wow.
They have mostly bad songs. I would say that Muse is one of those bands that has like one good song per album.
Yeah, don't know.
I don't disagree with that. I think that one, I can't remember what it's called, but like the album art is like a guy looking at people being raptured, it looks like. But that one has a few good songs on it.
Madness is a great song. And
Madness is a good song.
Yeah, that's a fantastic song. And so is this. I hadn't heard this Butterflies and Hurricanes song before, but it is really good. It's like I like
that Western theme. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
They also did one that sounds like a James Bond theme. Like it's obviously like them trying to make a James Bond theme. Maybe it was like a pitch they did, but that did not happen.
They have a great one. It was their song that was on Guitar Hero, but it's like a 7-minute song, but it's got like it's got like a Western kind of feel to it. It's a good song. I like it.
That's cool.
Well, this has been the Muse podcast
it's my
with
level
John
up,
and Jim.
Guys.
I'm sorry that I'm talking about music and games and stuff. And I started watching last thing, Severance season 2. I'm on this. I just finished the second episode, started the third. Man, this is one of the best shot shows on television. So well written, so real, just a really cool show. And Zach Cherry just looks so adorable. It's nice to have a show where I'm just like, oh, look at that guy. There's also another guy who was in The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. And this is a Ben Stiller production. So he's back and he's a cute big bear. Cute big like Icelandic bear in this. So I was happy to see him. How far are you into Severance, Jim? I don't know how many episodes are out yet on Apple TV.
There's only 3 episodes out right now. I just finished the 3rd one the other night.
I heard it's pretty amazing, so I need to get there.
Pretty cool.
And Matt said that the show sucks.
No, yeah, I just haven't watched the second season yet.
I thought you said you didn't like it.
Nope. Incorrect.
Weird. I must have misinterpreted what you said the other day. Because I thought you said you didn't like it. Anyway.
No, I thought the first season was fantastic. I want to rewatch the first season before I watch the second season, and that's really what's hanging me up. I haven't had time to turn it on.
Matt says, really, personally, I think that show kind of sucks. But maybe
I was talking about Star Wars.
Oh,
the cartoon that you were talking about.
The Clone Wars.
The Clone Wars. I think that show kind of sucks.
See, okay, so here, let me just recap this conversation because we were both talking about 2 very different things. So here's how, 'cause I thought Matt was talking about Severance and he was talking about Star Wars, the Clone Wars. And then I wrote back, I quoted him this is in our group chat and wrote, Twitter wrote it. And then Matt wrote back, George Lucas wrote it. And I wrote, how dare you?
Talking about Clone Wars.
And then he wrote, and then I wrote, George
In fact,
Lucas.
It seems to me that it was pretty obvious what I was talking about when I said George Lucas wrote it.
I didn't get it. Then I wrote, George Lucas stars in it, Matt. He replaced Adam Scott. And then Matt said, and I said Jammer, and then started posting gifs of Jammer Lammy. Anyway, Matt, how did you level up?
Matt loves the theater. The theater loves Matt. I saw a play. I saw a cool play for grown-ups called Dealing with Dragons. That's right. Dealing with Dragons, the Patricia C. Reed book that I have talked about multiple times on this show over the years, got a stage adaptation that was performed at the Phoenix Theater in Phoenix, Arizona. And I purchased a live stream ticket and watched the play with my children. It was delightful. The dragons were portrayed by big old dragon puppets, and they were delightful, and I loved them.
Was it a musical?
It was not a musical. It was just a pretty straightforward adaptation of the book. I haven't read that book in a long time, so how faithful was it? I don't really remember. Pretty faithful from what I remember.
I was like 10. I do not remember anything that happened in it.
It was very good, and I had a very good time. You know, it's a comedy more than anything. I think that it's got kind of like a slow middle where there's not like an establishing like here's a thing that we have to do or work towards. So a lot of the middle of the book is just kind of like, I'm having fun doing things. But it was really great, and the puppeteering was fantastic, and the cast was good, and I had a really good time, and my kids loved it quite a bit. My son was all like, I'm not gonna watch that with you guys. I don't care about no stupid princess play. And I was like, well, come watch the first few minutes with us. And then he was glued to the television the whole time. He loved it. My daughter, who has read the book multiple times, loved it as well. And I had a good old time reliving those memories via theater production. It was very fun. I thought that Vanessa would be excited about it and would want to watch it too, and she didn't. So that was sad. But it was good. And a big thank you to Tracy, patron Tracy the Board Queen, for letting me know about that on the Discord, because I certainly would never have heard of it. And it was well worth the $8 admission. Good times. I started watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and I don't really know why. I don't have a good explanation for that, other than I was bored and I noticed it and was like, well, I've never really watched this before. I wasn't interested in it when it was on. I guess I have nothing going on other than working, so I'll check it out. And it is a great show to watch while I'm working, because mostly it's good because the dialogue is good and the characters are fun. And then when all the action-y stuff happens, you can completely tune out because it's garbage. It's terrible. Terrible TV action garbage. I will say Sarah Michelle Gellar, her like tough acting fight pose where she like puts her fists up is, boy, I don't know if that's supposed to be threatening or what, because it is very silly looking. She looks goofy. But it's a fun show and I'm enjoying it. I guess that's about it, you know. Haven't been up to much else. Played some PUBG. Worked a lot. Went to dinner with my aunt. That's it. Jim, how did you level up?
Well, I don't know if you call this a level up, but I had to take a sick day this past Monday because I was sick. But I decided to watch a marathon of straight up dad classics. It was almost like a, well, they were dad classics featuring Denzel Washington, the majority of them. So I watched Equalizer 1, Equalizer 2, Unstoppable with Chris Pine. And I tried to watch Equalizer 3 and shut it off. Because that movie's bad. I also finished a playthrough on my Steam Deck of Wolfenstein: The New Colossus. That was fun. And I started another playthrough of The Last of Us Part 2 today. So that's fun. And that's how I leveled up. All right, well, that's it for this episode of Square Roots. Before we go, let me tell you about our Patreon at patreon.com/squarerootspodcast. You can sign up to hear all of our great bonus content. We have a bonus episode coming this month on Case of the Goblin, which is a game that Vanessa picked. Next month, who knows? There's tons of other cool content on there. We've got some Scare Roots episodes where we talk about a scary movie or game. We've got Square Roots Versus, where we all play a game and talk about it. There's some level up episodes, tons of cool content on there. You can get that content at our $3 subscription level. At the $5 level, you can have access to all that content, plus the ability to vote on games that we play on the show. Another benefit of being a patron, no matter what tier you subscribe to, is we like to thank some of our patrons personally on the air every week. And I'm going to start us off this week by thanking Cerulean, Something Witty, Joshua W. Broxson, Gigantified Micro Space Hamster, Kodab Games, Ricky Barty, Ryan, Eduardo Franco, Tracy the Board Queen, and Samu Mitchell.
I'd like to thank Tom, Sean Walsh, Brian Pitt, Jay Bird, Ross Hartley, Gage Lasharite, Vanessa's mom, Queen of the Hammerites, Josh Rose, Cyril the Wolf, and Josh Holt.
I'd like to thank Isaac Wright, Jordan Mims, Seth G, Andy Smith, Arthur A., Fei Fong Dong, Chris Penyak, Knopford, and Anthony Lerma. There's no Vanessa.
All right, that's it for this episode of Square Roots. If you'd like to send us an email, we're at squarerootspodcast@gmail.com. Come join our Facebook group, the Square Roots Podcast Group, for smart, cool, very attractive people. Or find us on Blue Sky at squarerootspod.bsky.social.
Please rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts or Google or Spotify or Ghana. I like it when you review and subscribe and post great reviews and say how great the show is and how attractive we all are in our own special ways. Thanks to Stephen Morris for our Square Roots theme. You can find Stephen on YouTube. Links in the show notes. And thanks for writing erotic fan fiction about the podcast.
All right, for Square Roots, I'm Jim Banks.
I'm Matthew Van Zant, and I've never seen an Equalizer movie.
Wow.
I'm Johnny Brandon. I've never seen an Equalizer movie. I did see that Equalizer show a few times because I used to watch whatever was on TV. And it was not for kids. It was boring.
My mom likes that show. It stars Queen Latifah, right?
It does.
No, that's like I'm talking about the old version.
Oh, the old one.
There's an old one?
Yeah, it's the Equalizer movies are based on the old TV show.
Yeah.
Oh, is the new TV show based on the movies, or is it based on the old show? Or is it based on the books?
I don't know. I assume the books, maybe.
It's based on the radio play. Are there books?
Maybe. I assume. Who knows?
I don't know. Okay, bye.
Bye.